Good morning. Good morning, Friday, and all my friends and all those who watch my videos. I want to reiterate the fact that I am a Reiki healer and an emotional life coach. So if you need Reiki, it doesn't matter where you live, you can contact me through my website at www.reiki-by-maxine.com. And if you need some emotional life coaching sessions, I can do that also through Facebook Messenger, and you can connect with me through my Reiki website. It's great that it's Friday. I don't know where you live or how your weather is, but it's an absolute beautiful day today in San Diego. Nice to see the sun. It just brightens your life and just helps make you feel so much more positive. I'm going to start off with a message from my book, God's Messages of Truth. I am just as surprised as maybe all of you how these poems are so healing to all. So I was told to read you this message first, and it's out of my book, which you can find on Amazon.com, God's Messages of Truth, Shifting Your Subconscious from Fear to Love. The message today for all of you is visualize. Our earth is beauty to see, must release the veils attached to thee. Now is the time to purge within. So much is bubbling under our skin. Feels very painful, it's true, but oh so necessary to do. Know that this is your destiny. You know how the outcome will be. Not to worry or fret. The best to come yet. Love, rainbows, all of us getting along. Keep up your work. You are strong. Remember to visualize how you want Earth to be. Love and beauty surrounding you and me. Isn't that beautiful? I love my poetry. Anyway, it actually fits with what I'm going to speak about today, which is the next 10 laws of the universe. I don't know if you realize how important these laws are, but I can only share them with you and hope that it helps you help yourself. Law number 10 is the law of manifestation. I hope you realize that when it's a law, that means this is how your life is guided. And there is no way around any of these laws. So with your free will choice, you can choose to follow them or choose not to. Law number 10, the law of manifestation. Everything manifests and begins as a thought. Ideas and experiences create beliefs, which in turn creates your reality. So whatever you believe is what you create, and it proves to you that you are correct. Hi, Tate. Nice to see you. If you're unhappy with your current reality, you change your beliefs and your behavior, and then your reality automatically changes. Beliefs can be changed when you begin to recognize those that are not working for you. For you begin to program what will work for you and bring success and harmony into your life. The unlimited creative power of your mind through dedication, awareness, and training can be the wisdom to ride above your karma. And yes, it does involve training because we were not raised this way, not in this life, and not in the past 300,000 years. So you do need to train yourself to think in a different way and know that you can have whatever you want as long as you believe it. Within the physical laws, You can manifest any reality you desire to experience with regards to your disharmonious behaviors. You must decide which behaviors you want to eliminate, and then be aware that you don't have to change how you feel about something to affect it if you are willing to change what you are doing. Very, very powerful. Number 11 relates to so many people. Today, I think this is one of the most important laws for all of you to understand, and it's the law of conscious detachment. It's your resistance to what is that causes you suffering. Suffering meaning everything that doesn't work for you. Your relationship problems, your loss of loved ones, your loneliness, sickness, accidents, guilt, monetary hardships, unfulfilled desires, etc. I'm sure you could relate to these. When you accept what is the unalterable realities in your life without resisting them, some things are facts. They exist. And no matter how much you resist, there is nothing you'll be able to do about them. These laws are facts. And no matter how much you resist them, there's nothing you can do about it. So to make your life easier, I would suggest understanding these laws and fitting them into your life. And watch how your life can change miraculously. It's not about being lucky. It's not that some people are blessed by God and others are not. That is total erroneous thinking. Change what you can change, but have the wisdom to accept unalterable situations as they are without wasting mental or physical energy attempting to change what you cannot change. You cannot change someone's passing. You cannot change the way your family situations. Out of the acceptance becomes evolved detachment, the ability to enjoy the positive aspects of life, to allow the negativity to flow through you without resistance and without affecting you. There is so much negativity on the news, on the television, on the internet, and there is a lot of negativity right here on Facebook. People get angry, people judge others, people get mad, and it does no good to yourself. You are the only person that is important. You are the person that you need to love 100% unconditionally. You do not have to ask others what's best for you. You do not need to follow other people. We are all gifted. We all came here with a plan and a purpose. And all you need to do is find your purpose. If other people anger you, you need to realize that that person is reflecting aspects of yourself that you are not aware of. So thank the people who come into your life and challenge you to show you what you need to change about yourself. There's been talk about terrorist attacks again in London. You know, I don't fall into that. I disconnect from it. It's not important. How much is it truth? How much has been set up by governments? What you don't understand in situations like this and all the other negative things that you hear that are pounded into your head on a daily basis, if you follow it, is that the negative elite, the cabal, or whatever you want to call them, are aware of everyone awakening. So many people have awakened. And if you focus on that, you don't need to focus on anything else. That's all that matters. But they are aware that they are losing. They're losing their control over you. That is a positive. So the more negative they post, what are they really trying to do but bring fear back into your life? And remember, fear is false evidence appearing real. So ignore it. It's not to feel sad. It's not to feel bad. It's not to feel anything. This is when you need to activate the law I just told you about, the law of conscious detachment. Anything that goes on in other people's lives is their karmic situation. You can send them peace and love. And that's all you need to do. Number 12 is the law of gratitude. From the perspective of karma and the law of one, the more you give, the more you get in return. The more you assist others, the more you assist yourself. That is the power of this law, and also works in your day-to-day life. So what you do to others, you do for yourself. Because if you can just think that everybody is you, everybody is a reflection of you, and this is truth. You can test this. You can put yourself in situations. You can manifest things. You can detach. And you can see miracles happening in your life. You don't have to believe me. I'm just trying to help you by telling you or showing you the laws of the universe. Number 13 is the law of fellowship. When two or more people with the same level vibration are gathered together for a shared purpose, their combined energy directed toward that attained purpose is doubled, tripled, quadrupled. So this has been used in religious groups and worldwide meditations for peace. So this is where religious groups have their great effect, is everyone gets together feeling the love, and it doubles through everyone's feelings throughout the world. And I want to tell you a story. This is a truthful story. When I was in Oregon, the second year that I was there, my guides sent me to the hills of Portland on Easter Sunday 2015. And they had me send Reiki to the whole city of Oregon, Portland, and all the land. Because on Easter Sunday, everybody is practicing fellowship. And so the energy that was going to come through me from God, from Jesus, and from Archangel Michael was that much more powerful. They told me to find the one lavender flower in the field. So I went up there because I always follow my guidance, and I never question. And I thought to myself, will I find this one lavender flower? Well, when I arrived, it was a beautiful spring day. It didn't rain that day. And when I first got there, there was thousands and thousands of these tiny little yellow flowers with no lavender flowers anywhere. And they said one. So I walked around and I walked around and I looked here and I looked there. And something told me to go left over this little ridge. So I walked over left, and there was the one lavender flower in a field of yellow flowers. It brought so much love and peace to me that I just stood there and cried. And the power of the world and the universe is so much more magical than anything that you read or see negatively on this earth. So I sent out the Reiki energy to all the people and all the land. And it was just the most beautiful, wonderful day. Anyway, I wanted to share that. You know, Tate, you're the only one here. I thought not advertising was a good thing, but maybe it's not. Anyway, number 14 is the law of resistance. That which you resist, you draw to you, and you will perpetuate its influence upon your life. And the sad part about it is we resist everything. And we don't even look at it as resistance. It's pretty much the more you want something, the more you put energy into it. And you think it's going to happen. But what you're doing is you're trying to force it to happen, which in turn actually stops it from happening. And that's the law of resistance. Go figure. Resistance is actually fear. The law of resistance assures that you let go of the fear by encountering it until you are forced to deal with it by learning conscious detachment. Isn't that amazing how everything connects with everything else? These laws all make sense. Here's an example. When you consciously detach from those who challenge you, the problem is resolved. The most disharmonious exchanges are resolved with a change of view. By changing your perspective, you can eliminate the problem. And if you are no longer affected by a problem, you no longer have a problem. And what's interesting about this is that it reminds me when I was working with children at the school district. And in elementary, you know, kids are mean and they hate each other and they're bad. Well, they don't hate each other, but you know what I'm saying. And I used to tell kids that were being bullied by other children, if you respond to their bullying, if you respond to the negativity that they force upon you, then you just feed their flame, and they do it more and more and more. And this is why they bother you. But if you ignore them, then the fun is gone and they just go away. That which you resist, you become. If not in this lifetime, in a future incarnation. Now, this example is amazing. If you have a strong resistance towards people of any race, and for me what comes to mind is the African American race, your resistance to them is fear. And the quickest way to overcome fear is to quickly become that which you find so fearful. So, thus, you will reincarnate in another lifetime as an African American. Now, wouldn't that be a nice billboard out in the southern parts of the United States? And the people who still hold the Confederate flag. It's just sad. It's so sad that people have been brainwashed into seeing us as separate and different when we're all the same. Number 15 is the law of attraction. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. You attract what you are and what you concentrate on. If you are negative, you draw in an experience of negativity. If you are loving, you draw in an experience of love. You can only attract to you those qualities that you possess. So if you want peace and harmony into your life, you must become peaceful and harmonious. I hope this helps you understand that the only way to change your life is to change yourself. The only way to change your negative occurrences in your life is to change your thoughts. And until you change those, nothing else is going to change around you. We are going through some very powerful energies that are very strong. Hi, Lisa and Sherry. You can rewind my video when I'm done and listen to it, because I'm pretty much almost finished. I do want to add, what I did, Lisa and Sherry, was talk about the next 5 universal laws, which is law 10 through 15, which are very important laws. They're all important, but these really ring true to what's happening right now. I also want to bring up the fact that we are one, and we are not separate, which means we are one. We are not dual. We are multi-dimensional. Now, I'm going to end this about multi-dimensionality. As I've said before in my other videos, that I have experienced everything once, but I've experienced multi-dimensionality more than once. I personally experienced it once where I left my body, and I'll explain that to you, but I have seen it so many times. And you might have seen it too. Multidimensionality means that we're not just who we are right now 100% in our bodies, because we're never 100% in our bodies. Like, for instance, right now, I am right here, but I am not 100% here. There's part of me that's on a starship with the Galactic Federation. And there's part of me probably visiting friends and families that I personally don't see. And one day, this is my goal, is to be able to connect. So who I connect with right now is my higher self. So I want to give you some examples. I think I brought this up once before in one of my videos where I experienced an earthquake back 6 years ago, maybe, in San Diego on Easter Sunday. It was a 7.3 earthquake where my master guide, who is Egyptian, took me to Egypt during this earthquake. Now, mind you, I didn't know we were going to have an earthquake. Obviously, nobody knows. And it just happened. But it happened to me, so I can explain it to you. But what happened was that I heard an Egyptian man screaming, like, across the street from where I was standing. So I was walking, I heard this noise, this man, he sounded like he was in major pain, and I stopped. And I looked over to where I thought he was. And I looked everywhere across the street, and I could not see him. I don't even know how long that took, but to me, it was a second. And then I looked to my left, because this is where all these people were eating in a restaurant outside. And they were all freaking out, and they were all looking across the street. So I thought that they were seeing this man that I didn't see, and I asked them, what was going on. And they said there was an earthquake. And I thought, where was this earthquake? And they said it was right here. And I was told that the land was rolling. It was a major earthquake. I mean, thank God in California we have a lot of protection. Our buildings are protected so they don't fall. Not too much goes on here. But 7.3, like I said before, in other countries is pretty major. My point is, my physical body, my human body was right here on Earth, but my spirit body was elsewhere, and I did not feel it. So I connected with my higher self, and I didn't feel it. I didn't feel a thing. Other times, I would have a thought. Like one time I thought, well, I was going to watch this movie, and it was about terror, or not terrorism, but I think it was like alien landings in LA or something like that, and I thought I wanted to see it. And I don't really like to watch movies like that, but so I was kind of wishing, the thought hit in my mind, I was wishing I had a dog, and I don't have one. So I go up into my apartment, and I'm sitting down, and out of the corner of my eye, and that's how you see other beings that are multidimensional, is through the corner of your eye. You can't physically look at them. You can just see them like, your peripheral vision. And I'm sure you've done this before. And anyway, here was this dog laying down on my carpet. Now, I couldn't turn around and look at him and see him. But I could see him, like I said, out of the corner of my eye. I know I'm repeating myself. Anyway, he was laying on his stomach, and his paws were out. And he was licking his 2 paws in the front over and over and over and over again. And at the time, I was seeing a guy who did not live in my area, who had told me that he had 2 dogs, which I've never seen pictures of him. I don't know anything about his dogs. But it doesn't matter. It's magical. So I knew it was his dog. And don't ask me how I know, I just knew. So I sent him a text. And I had talked to him about, my strange ways. I don't think they're strange, but other people do. And I texted him and I said, I think your dog is here. And your dog is light colored, like blonde. And is laying on his stomach with his paws out, licking his paws over and over and over again. And he texts me back and he says, I have a black dog and a blonde dog, and my blonde dog does that all the time. Multidimensional. The dog connected to my wish of not wanting to watch this movie by myself and showed up. You see, you can talk to anyone or anything or anybody with your mind. I mean, it's just amazing. I want you to know that one day I was at the gym. This was right after Michael Jackson, if you know him, passed away. I was listening to his song and I was on an elliptical and I was getting tired, and all of a sudden his voice came to me and he was saying, "You can do it, you can do it. Just be positive, listen to my music and just keep going and don't stop." And I was like, whoa, I was shocked. But nothing surprises me. And so I said, well, hi, Michael, I'm sorry that you left and, blah, 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 whatever. And then about 3 or 4 weeks later, I was watching the Grammys, and they were honoring Michael Jackson. And lo and behold, he was sitting in my living room right next to me on my sofa. Now, I couldn't turn and look at him, but I could see him out of the corner of my eye. And he wanted me, first off, to give everybody a message. Everyone looks to blame when someone passes over. And they want to blame, they want to sue, and they want to revenge, and they want to kill you, and they want to send you to the electric chair. You're not disconnected. That is, I'm saying consciously disconnect. It was his time to leave. That's it, period, dot. When people leave the planet, it's their time. That's it. Accept it and move on. Anyway, he appeared to me when he looked better, because he had a lot of surgeries. And he was dressed all in black, and oh my God, when they showed his video, Thriller, that's exactly how he was dressed and exactly how he looked. I mean, not with the funny face, like the makeup face, but there he was. We sat together and watched his TV show, and it was amazing. Another time, and this is my last example, I had a girlfriend who we used to get together. She was psychic and she could speak to spirits, and I see them, but I have a hard time communicating and understanding or hearing them. So we get together. And I used to believe that when I saw these spirits, they were spirits that had passed over. But no, a lot of them were spirits that were still on the planet, but they were coming to visit multidimensionality. And there was, she said, my ex-husband. And I said, my ex-husband is here? And she said, oh yeah, he always worries about you. He always wants to know how you're doing. Now, yeah, I've been married 3 times. This was my first husband. This was a man that I met when I was a teenager. And he taught me a lot, and we started our lives together. And we got married because I got pregnant, and we didn't stay married very long. And, you know, even though this happened when he came to visit me in his multi-dimensional state, and he's obviously not aware of it, this probably happened about 10 years ago. And do you know that currently he's been contacting me to let me know that he still thinks about me and always wonders how I'm doing? So I don't need proof. I seriously don't need proof of anything. I've gotten my proof, and I don't worry about anything. I just live conscious detachment, enjoying life as much as I can, manifesting all the things that I want, and trying so hard to help all of you grow in spirit and feel the love that is around the planet. Now, that ends my video, but if any of you who are currently watching have any questions you'd like to ask, I will try to answer them. So ask away. I'll give you a few minutes. And if you don't have any questions, that's fine too. And I will say, have a blessed weekend. Enjoy your life. And just focus on yourself. And send love to the planet. Send love energy to everybody. And send healing and peace to all. And forgive everyone who you feel that has harmed you in any way possible. And remember that all they were doing was helping you grow and helping you become a better person. Love and blessings. Bye. Blowing kisses.